Dear Theo, the Flemish training school does not require that you quite finish the course before you can apply for a place as an evangelist. The 3 months probation demanded of me have almost passed. St. Paul was in Arabia for 3 years before he began to preach. If I could work quietly for about 3 years, always learning and observing, then I should not come back without having something to say that was really worth hearing. I say this in all humility, and yet with confidence. I enclose a hasty little sketch. I should like to begin making rough sketches of some of the many things that I meet on my way, but as it would probably keep me from my real work, it's better not to start. I visited the cemetery here. In front of it is a little wood where it is very peaceful, especially when the sun shines through the leaves in the evening. There are many beautiful graves, and all kinds of evergreens, and roses and forget-me-nots. I walked on past a forest and took a side path leading to a little old ivy-covered church. At the side of the sunken road were twisted and gnarled stumps and tree roots. Fantastic. Like those Albert Dürer etched in Ritter, Tod und Teufel. How rich art is. If only one can remember what one has seen, one is never without food for thought or truly lonely. Never alone. My dear brother, the 3 months probation have elapsed. They have told me that I cannot attend the school on the same conditions as the native Flemish pupils. It would not be easy to live without faith in God. Without it, one would lose one's courage. Dear Theo, I am sure you realize that here in the Borinage, there are no pictures. If with God's blessing I get a permanent appointment here, I shall be very, very happy. Often I draw far into the night, to keep some souvenir and to strengthen the thoughts raised involuntarily by the aspects of things here. Like everyone else, I feel the need of family and friendship, of affection, of friendly intercourse. I'm not made of stone or iron, so I cannot miss these things without being conscious of a void and feeling a lack of something. Involuntarily, I have become more or less a kind of impossible and suspect personage in the family. So, how could I, in any way, be of any use to anybody? Therefore, above all, I think the best and most reasonable thing for me to do is to go away and keep a convenient distance, so that I cease to exist for all of you. Most of the miners are thin and pale from fever. They look tired and emaciated, weather-beaten and aged before their time. Most of them cannot read, but at the same time are intelligent and quick at their different works. Brave and frank, with melancholy deep-set eyes. They have an innate deep-rooted hatred and a strong mistrust of anyone who is domineering. The villages here look desolate and dead and forsaken. Life goes on underground instead of above. As molting time, when they change their feathers, is for birds, so adversity or misfortune is the difficult time for us human beings. One can stay in it, one can also emerge renewed. But anyhow, it must not be done in public. Therefore, the only thing to do is to hide oneself. When I was in other surroundings, in the surroundings of pictures and works of art, I had a violent passion for them, reaching the highest pitch of enthusiasm. And I'm not sorry about it. For even now, far from that land, I am often homesick for the land of pictures. Now, for more than 5 years, I have been without employment. It is true that I have lost the confidence of many. It is true that my financial affairs are in a bad state. It is true that even my studies are in a rather sad and hopeless condition, and that my needs are greater, infinitely greater than my possessions. But I must continue on the path I've taken now. But you will ask, what is your definite aim? That aim will stand out slowly and surely, as the rough draft becomes a sketch, and the sketch becomes a picture. Do our inner thoughts ever show outwardly? There may be a great fire in our soul, yet no one ever comes to warm himself at it. And the passers-by see only a wisp of smoke coming through the chimney and go along their way. I think that everything which is really good and beautiful comes from God, and that all which is bad and wrong in man and in their works is not of God. But the best way to know God is to love many things. Love's a friend, a wife, something, whatever you like. But one must love with a lofty and serious, intimate sympathy with strength and intelligence, and one must always try to know deeper, better, and more. Sometimes I draw small sketches almost against my will, but it is a hard and difficult struggle to draw well. Dear Theo, I am glad I came home. Every day I go out into the fields, my drawing has changed. The technique as well as the results. I have learned to measure and to observe and seek for broad lines, so what seemed impossible before is gradually becoming possible now.
The claustrophobia has a point, and it's not erotic.
There's something I must tell you. A deep love has grown in my heart for our cousin Kay. And when I told her this, she answered that to her, past and future remained one, so she would never return my feelings. I hope not to leave a single thing undone which brings me nearer to her, for love is something so positive, so strong, so real, that it is impossible for one who loves to take back that feeling. Life has become very dear to me.